Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome to all on behalf of Galgotias Centre for Experiential Learning, Innovation and Incubation, GCET, Greater Noida. Honorable Chairman, Sir, Galgotias Educational Institution, Honorable Vice Chairman, Sir, Galgotias Educational Institution, respected Director, Sir, GCET, all heads of departments, President IIC and Dean Innovation and Incubation of GCELI2, Dr. Shyam Pratap Singh Sir, Vice President IIC, Deputy Dean and Convener, Innovation and Incubation of GCELI2, Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Singh Sir, all faculty members of Galgotias Centre for Experiential Learning, Innovation and Incubation, GCELI2, all student members of Galgotias Centre for Experiential Learning, Innovation and Incubation. So, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. SAKET MISHRA Sir. He received the B.Tech degree in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2017. He is currently working with IBM India Pvt Limited as an cloud computing engineer on cloud services for the last 4 years. In his job role, it required expertise in translating IT requirements in the design, development, and assembly of components to create custom information system. Typical example of the deliverables are functional and technical design, models, components, codes, unit test, and documentation. He has also published 1 patent and 4 research papers in the SCI Journal. His research interests include nano communication and cognitive cloud technology. So, I would request Mr. SAKET MISHRA Sir to share please sir.
Hello, Nishika. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Thank you for the confirmation. So I'll start the video. Just 1 minute. So first of all, thank you for this introduction, Nishika, and very good afternoon to all the teachers and the students who are here for the session. So first of all, let me share my screen. Okay. So the host, can somebody allow me to share the screen? I think the host, Naman, he needs to allow the permission. Naman? Okay, I got that permission. I'll start now. Thank you. So as we discussed about that, today's session is for the workshop on design thinking, critical thinking, and innovation thinking. So first of all, I'll brief about myself once more, that I'm working as a cloud computing engineer in IBM company from last 4 years. My job role is mostly designing the architecture and the flow of the applications which are running on the cloud applications. So the architecture and the design of the complete flow of the applications which are running on the cloud, especially like Java applications and other scripting, those we use to design and deliver to the clients. So my degree I have received in the Galgotia, and I'm passed out from 2017. Then in 2018, I have joined the IBM company. From then till now, I'm working there only. In the meantime, also, I have worked as I worked on the research part also in the nano communication field for the molecular communications. And also, my name was there in the 1 patent, which we have given in the Indian patents. Okay, so now I want to tell you that today, as the workshop is because on these 3 topics, so we are going to deliver mostly talking about these three things only. That is the design thinking, critical thinking, and the innovations. What are the topics comes under this one? The examples, the skills needed to develop this kind of thinking, we will discuss one by one in each slides. Moving to the next slide. So the first thing is that what is the design thinking? So as of I want to start with the definitions, the basic definitions which we mostly cover in this in starting. Then slowly I'll give you the examples and the practical knowledges that where it is actually being implemented and how it is being used. So like the first line we can see is that everyone designs who devises course of actions aimed at changing existing situations into preferred ones. Okay, so what does mean that design thinking doesn't mean that you should be a good designer, you should be have a knowledge of designer, and you should have a degree or some knowledge should be there. It does not require. Every person who thinks like that, that okay, I have a particular idea, I have a course of action, I can define a course of action, that we have a situation which is not very well for the existing users, and by using our idea or our course of action we can change it into the preferred one, means the desirable situation. Then that flow from changing it from the existing one to the new one is called as a designing. Okay, now, design thinking is not necessarily to be understood as a process or a method for solving a set of stone of collections of problems. It is also a mindset that can be applied in almost any scenario where innovations or thinking differently is required. So, as I said, it is not always be the person or a particular person who can do the designing thinking, or it is not a process that okay, there is a set of rules which you need to follow every time. It's not like that. Design thinking means it should be completely a mindset, how you think, how you try to approach the problem, how you try to define the problem, how you try to generate the ideas for that problem. Those things comes up under also design thinking, and it will never be the design thinking always will never work on the set of rule like you should think first this thing only, then after finishing this method you can go to the next method. It is not like that. It can be that okay, first I thought this step, then later if I'm facing the problem I can think about the one before step also. It is not like that only this rule or regulations are there. This is the one thing in design thinking. We cannot solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we have used when we created them. In addition, with the rapid change in the society, the methods we have previously used to solve many of the problems we face are no longer effective. So this is the point which is telling you about that the how the world is changing from now, the one in which we used to live right now, and the world which is earlier in stages. If we take an example of a COVID itself, now the world is now different from the past 2 years. Now we have seen that how many things have been changed. So obviously, right now, if we are facing some problem, so in 2019 maybe we have a solution, but now that solution may not work because we have one more thing to consider, that keep the social distance. So the problem should not be always think like that, though it should if we have a situation, and if we have created a something solution for that situation in 2019 or from before that, then it does not mean that it always apply to the next upcoming years also. It can be changed. You have to change because on every year, every month, there's a new thing is coming which is changing the world. So obviously the idea should be keep new as per the time. It should not having a problem that it will work only in those situations which are there in before pandemic. We have to change the our thinking process, that in terms of thinking like how the world is changing now. We need to develop new ways of thinking in order to design a better solution, services, and experiences that solve our current problem. So the same thing which as I explained now, we have to develop a new thinking, that okay, which is right now the solution we right now the problem we are facing, it has to be changed now by giving a new kind of solution. It cannot, it is not possible that uh, always 100% always the solution which we have earlier days will work efficiently as much today. So these three lines actually are defining the design thinking, that design thinking can be done by anyone, design thinking needs a mindset, not a particular process or something which needs to be followed everywhere. And design thinking always needs to be keep getting away with the new ideas, not stick with the rules which are there in the earlier days. These 3 points are defining what is the design thinking. Now, the pillars of a design thinking. Uh, Here I want to tell you that, okay, we have many pillars, or we can say there are many, we can find many other points also, that design thinking is based on these following points. But what if I'll tell you that mostly are being used to be covered under these four things. Now, the first thing is empathy, to conduct research to get personal grasp of end user needs. This point I want to explain you with one line. I have heard in some television show that one person told that in IoT, Internet of Things, which we all know, that I can do something doesn't mean that I should do that thing. What does it mean? That you know that you can solve a, you have some idea and you can work on it. Okay. But whether that idea you think on which you are working, is it necessary? Whether it is going to help the end users, whether it is being asked by anyone that, okay, we want a solution for this thing. No. So what does empathy means? That you have to interact with the people, with the end users, to ask them that, okay, go to the market, go to the end user peoples. What industry people generally will do, they will first do the survey. Why? The survey is because to understand that what actually customer wants. If they don't want something to add in the application or in the day-to-day life, then don't do it. It will not help. Maybe it will create a more problem for you later. Maybe you'll develop something which we don't want. So it is very important to understand that what market needs, what end user needs. This is the so interaction with the human is very important in design thinking. Second thing, framing the problem. Okay, way of structuring and presenting a problem or in situation. This is also one of point, like it's clear by itself by the statement that framing the problem means you have to frame means you have to figure it out. What are the problems? What is the blockers which we are facing? I'll give you a scenario. What is used to in company used to happen. Today, my manager will come and they will say, on end of this month, we have to deliver this product or deliver this platform to the client on the cloud. Now, today he said to me, now the problem is what? Now, I understood that not the problem. The aim which he gave to me is that we have to deliver this thing on this end of the month. This is the one point. Okay. Now, what I or the person who will start thinking on it that okay, what are the problems which will we face if we, as a blocker to deliver it on the end of the month? Like, do we have a necessary resource to figure it out that whether we can deliver it on that day or not? Do we have that much time to figure it out whether we can deliver it on that day or not? Do we have a plan or an architecture or any diagram flow, blueprint that this application or this product needs to be done in this way? Do we have a fund or anything that which will help us to get all the necessary things to deliver this product? So what I have done, I have wrote these lines like, okay, this is the one problem which we are facing in completing this task by the end of this month. This is the second problem. So we are framing the problem that, okay, these point one, point two, point three, I have framed these things in a name of problems by saying that, okay, these things first we need to face, not to face, we have to solve. So I went to the client, I interacted with them, I got the need that, okay, they want that this thing. Now, what is the problem which is going to come to fix that need of or to deliver that need to the client? This is a one thing which comes in the part of this design thinking. So, which is called as a framing of the problem, framing the problems. Now, the next thing is ideation. So ideation means actually it's also a process where you generate ideas and solutions through sessions. That's what does that mean? Okay, we will start delivering our ideas. We'll start thinking about the different ideas. What does that mean? Like, okay, I now know the problem, but how I'm going to solve it? I'll start drawing the. I'll take a paper and a pen. I'll draw a map. Okay, I'll draw a map. I'll center this. In center, I'll wrote the problem, and then I'll start sketching it on that. Okay, this is the one problem which is going to face like this. Then I'll draw one more sketch and I'll say that, okay, this is the second point, which is actually somehow related to this my first problem. So this is ideation by thinking that our problem is this one, but the solution which we can get it by sketching the problem, or by making a prototype of those things, or making by brainstorming, like thinking about continuously about with the 2 3 persons in the same room, that okay, what do you think about this problem, how do you figure it out the solutions. These things will cover under this ideations. Okay. The fourth point is the repetitive and iterative. Okay, so this point, like process of incorporating continuous improvement in the field or the finished product. So this is also what is in industrial world, or in the practical market, what people used to do, which we all know, which we are daily we used to see, that if once we know that okay, this is our final product, okay, then definitely we will use a beta version of that thing. Beta version, why I'm using it in your Apple Play Store also. You have seen that most of, maybe you have seen that there is a beta version. Why is beta version is there? Because they want that okay, we are going to update this app, but only for few customers. If you want to check that new version in a release stage, so that you will use it daily, you will use those apps, and give us a feedback also, that whether our final product which we are finally going to deliver to all the end users is okay or not. This we have, it's not only in the application, actually it will do for all the product which is going to come to the market for the end users. Before delivering to the end user, its testing is the most critical, also a part of this design thinking, that you have to keep testing it. How many, the more time you test it, the more times you will figure it out that okay, these are the bugs in the problem which need to be fixed in this way. Because you designed something, you got the need, you framed the problem, you have the idea, now you have designed it, but just one person can give the complete feedback of one complete product is not possible. Something I liked it, maybe the other person did not like it. Maybe something I liked it, other person, I did not like it, other person maybe liked it. But if we have a 10 persons, and 10 persons will say okay, 3 persons will say okay, we like this feature which is added in this one. Maybe 7 persons will say okay, we did not like this feature. So in that case, what you can do, you can understand that only few number of peoples we are satisfying, rest other 7 peoples are not okay with the product. We need to work on this more. So repetitive testing is a very important thing also in the design thinking, so that the final product will come with a very less number of bugs. Bugs will be there. It is not possible that you will design something or you will prepare a product which is 100% fault free. So, but repetitive testing will reduce the faults. So these are the four pillars of the design thinking, which we have discussed. Now going to the next slide. Okay, this is a bigger picture I have tried to explain you here, that you can see the set of users. There is a users is what they need, what they want, what is the motivation. And at the same time, what designer means, the engineer or the person who is actually they have a what should I say, the ability to solve the problems are comes under designers. What they have process, they have tools, they have frameworks. Once their tools, their frameworks, their ideas, process, whatever they have in the designer field is in same set with the user's needs, wants, and motivations. Once these two things will collaborate, or these two things will overlap, the final thing which you are seeing in the gap, the thing, the shaded area, will give you the actually the required product. Because when users requirement, its need, what they, why they want this thing, what is the motivation behind their need, is understand by the designer, then only designer can create an appropriate product, and the required product can be summarized, can be presented to the final users, or can be considered as a this is the okay final product of our designer, from our designer. Okay, here I have given you some examples that what how practical ways practically we can see where design thinking is being used. So one thing I have seen is that bank transfer to UPI. Before that also, before UPI came, we can transfer the money, right? There is not like that we cannot do the online transaction. Before that also, people can transfer money from their bank to another bank. But some people went to the market, they asked the end users, and they find one problem in this bank transfer, that everyone does not have bank details very much handy. Nobody will remember their bank account name, bank account number, and the IFC code and everything. Okay. You cannot, if somebody needs to transfer the money to other people's account, you cannot do it like within a 1 minute, because you need to find out that, okay, let me check the account number, fill the account details. Then before that, this beneficiary add account, these all things were terms and conditions were there in the bank transfer thing, money transfer through the bank. Online transaction was there, but there is a problem in this one, which end users always feel that, okay, if these things will not be there, then maybe we would have transferred the money more easily. They have given their need that we want to transfer the money easily. This is the empathy which we come to understand by going to the end user. Now what happened, we define the problem. What is the problem? Problem is that everyone does not have the bank account details very much handy. This is the problem. They cannot transfer the money instantly. Sometimes bank will say, okay, after 24 hours or after 1 day, we will add the account and then we will transfer the money. These are the problems defined. Then we started thinking about the ideation. Okay, how can we figure it out that this problem can be solved? So people, the engineers who have designed, they have come to the conclusion that there is a one common thing which will be specific to everyone's account. That is the phone number. Most of the people's UPI, if you see, either it's Phone Pay, Google Pay, or Bheem, or whatever app you are using, the first thing they will ask that you should have a phone number which is account to your link, correct? So link is account. Now your account is linked with the phone number, so you don't need to remember the details. Just you need to download the app on a common this UPI is a platform. Once you download the app, you need to fill only the phone number. It will directly link to your bank account, and after that, that's it, your account is linked. Now you can transfer the money. The next question comes, the security. Okay, when we do that online bank transfer from our account to account, we used to give our login credentials and all that. Then security, how we can tackle that problem? Everyone has a ATM card when they have a bank account. In ATM card, how you used to protect the ATM card? There is a 4-digit pin. If you will not tell your 4-digit pin, the ATM card is useless to any other person until unless that 4-digit pin is being given to that person. Here also, you see there is a 4-digit or 6-digit pin is there in UPI. So security problem also comes under, maybe late in first stage they have not figured it out. Later, when they are doing the testing, they come to understand that if we link the account, if somebody phones got stolen, then what? Immediately that person will transfer the account, all the money from the account. Better, let's create a pin also there, so that just like an ATM
Excuse me,
card
sir.
stolen, doesn't mean that. I'm sorry, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I have an announcement.
Sure, sure. Transfer to UPI, from this bank transfer to UPI, problem was there. End users are telling that we are facing this problem. Design thinking or some kind of method has been used, and now we have a UPI system. Similarly, we can see there is this OTT platform now is very much popular. Before that, people used to watch everything in theater, or if you go to movie, wait for the movie to come on the TV, or many other like if movie is released, then also you will watch it on the TV. The DVD Blu-ray print will come after 2-3 months. You need to buy that one, and then only you can watch that on your TV. But now Netflix and other Disney Hotstars, what they have come, they have understood the market. They finally come to a solution that people, if want to watch on phone, which is more handy these days, why not to bring all the content in the OTT platform? Just we need to think in a way that, okay, how to get the money, use the subscription things. So it was not very much popular in earlier days, but now when